right? At the end of the day, get the knowledge you guys need, and then do what works for you. YouTube, what's up? Hey, this is gonna be a video specifically on what I send for my archers, how I layer them, the thought process behind it. Just keep in mind, this is not gospel. This is not, if you do it this way, this is the only way. This is just a way. This is just a way, okay? So let's just get that out right out the get-go, just so everybody knows I'm not trying to be deceitful. I'm not trying to hide things. This is what I do. Works good for me. Layer your troops for sure. And before we jump into this video, I hope you guys like the background. Got a brand new poster, a new intro coming up. So if you guys have been tired of that intro, it's gonna be about it's gonna be Hannibal. Hannibal's my new logo. Hopefully you guys like that. But anyways, if you guys want to get a shout out on the next video, I got one question for you. You answer this question right, I'm gonna give you a shout out on the video. Why is the sky blue? Comment below. If you get it right, I'm gonna give you a shout out next video. Thank you for the love and support, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's jump into this video. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Knox. You guys know. So I've had a lot of requests. Knox, what do you do? How do you layer your troops? How should I layer my troops? Like, what goes on in layering, and how do you attack? And I tell them I need a layer. I've done a fair share of layering, and it's all like speculative information. So I was really hesitant on giving information out about it. I know that layering is something that you absolutely need, because I have literally hundreds of battle reports of me hitting guys that don't layer, and I layer, and it's just like, it's like a 50-to-1 ratio. So per turn, they can only hit one. They lock on to one enemy. They're just gonna hit them until they're dead. And anyways, you just want more layers, so that way you don't have lower tier troops hitting your higher tier troops and things of that sort. You just basically want to keep everybody at bay while your higher guys fight. I think that's the most in-depth I can get with it, because I don't understand a lot of it. And it's not that I don't understand a lot of it, is I don't know if it's 100% accurate. There's nobody in the game that knows 100% accurate. Evony is holding on to that information, and I guess I can't hate them for not releasing that, because that's their intellectual property, and they want to hold that close to their chest, because they don't want somebody knocking off their game, even though they've done spin-offs from other people's games. But anyways, I've been hesitant to put this out, because I don't want people to think that I am deceiving people, right? This is more of just me just speaking on what I send out. This is more of just kind of a broad statement. Hey, this is what I do. It gives me good success. If you guys want to use something similar to that, definitely recommend it. But just don't come on here and hate on me and be like, hey, bro, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Cool. I know I'm an idiot, right? But I'm having fun. You guys are having fun. Anyways, you know, it is what it is. I do my best. So I just want everybody to know that I'm not trying to give misinformation out. I'm doing everything that I can in my knowledge on what I do and what I'm successful on, and that's what I'm putting. Anyways, I'm going to jump into the archers, because that's going to be, for me, the most devastating right out the get-go. That's going to allow me to kill all their mounted, right? I'm going to get into something real quick about, you guys will see, obviously, T14s and things like that. I'm going to get to the percentages here in a second, but I like to do, I initially thought I would do like 80% archers, 20% siege. I really don't do 20% siege. I probably should do a little bit more siege, but this is just what I do, and it's been working out pretty good for me. And why it's beneficial for folks to throw siege on their archer marches, especially if you're hitting somebody's keep. If you're hitting their keep, they're gonna have siege there. Siege are gonna they're gonna start from the back, right? So both the sieges are gonna be in the back, and they're gonna hit each other. So what happens if you don't send any siege, or if you send a low portion of siege, the siege that the enemy has are gonna overwhelm your siege, and then they're gonna switch to your archers, and your archers are just going to start getting slowly ticked away every turn. So I put enough siege in there to hold their siege back, while my archers can absolutely devastate their mounted and then start working in on their ground. That's why I put it. So my siege is literally just there. It's not there to get a whole bunch of numbers. They don't. It's literally just there to protect my archers from the enemy siege, because the enemy siege will absolutely devastate your archers. So just be careful on that. So I would definitely recommend bumping it up, throwing some siege in there, and protecting your guys. I'm just gonna say I have a 1.5 million march with no buffs added or anything. I do 45,000 and then I do 150,000. I buff up third tier down with a little bit of extra, and then I pretty much, you know, just kind of bring it back to normal, really, back to my 1,000. So I do 1,000 from top to bottom, all the way down. I will typically start at the bottom, just so that way when I get to the top, I know what I have to work with, and then I can go from there, right? So you would start down here, and then you just slowly work your way up. So this is my archer march. I have 1,000 of everything except for the archers. And you don't necessarily have to do it this way. I like doing a little bit extra on the tier that I'm strongest in, so these guys will get a little bit more damage than if I just did 1,000. They're still gonna die, but they're gonna get me a couple more points. It's like, you don't have to do it. I like doing it. I think it makes me feel better, so I do it, right? At the end of the day, get the knowledge you guys need, and then do what works for you. If you guys like this information and you want to do it, try it out. If you guys have had bad experience with this, then do it a different way. That's perfectly fine. I'm not saying you have to do it this way. This is just the way I do it. As you can see, I start ramping it up a little bit. You know, I'll start going into these siege. I'll start doing 10,000 and then 10,000. Like I said, just so that tier of troops can just hit the enemy a little bit harder. You know, they got the extra buffs. Why not get some more damage? Is it a crazy amount of more damage? Not really. Once you start getting up to the 9s and the 10s, then it starts adding up. But when you're in the lower tiers, it doesn't do a whole lot. So then when I start getting up here, I'll start at the top now. Ideally, it's like my highest tier. Now that I have tier 14s, I try to do somewhere between 20 for the 14s, 30 for the 13s, and then 40%. So the largest amount, as you can see, it's 500k, and this one's 400. So I'll have the largest amount in the T12, and I'll have the lowest portion on my T14. And mainly that's because, as you guys can see right now, I'm sending 111 million. You know, I just don't really want to go like this and then like this. But see how it jumped up an extra 10 million? That's an extra 10 million that I'm going to lose. So when I hit this guy's base, I am going to lose this full mark, guaranteed. So I try to keep it at a little bit lower of a number right out the get-go. You know, if I can save 10 million, you know, at the end of the day, they're still going to kill mounted. Whether I had that 10 million up or 10 million down, but I'm saving myself 10 million power that I'm going to give towards the enemy. When you just have 13s or something like that, you're probably going to want to bump this maybe up to 30, maybe 40%, right? You could do 30, 40% for your 13s, and then for your 12s, do 30 to 40%, and then do, you know, 20% for your 11. And that should work out pretty well for you. So as you guys can kind of see, there is no like set number. Is mine exactly 20, 30, 40? No, it's not. I sent in what I want to send in. For me, to be honest with you, I don't do 20, 30% and like pull out a calculator and bust out the math. No, I just know I want to send the least amount of T14s, and then I want to slowly, progressively get larger as I go to the 13s. I mean, yeah, you can bust out the calculator and do all that stuff and get nerdy on it. I really don't. So that's kind of what I do for this bad boy. And just bear in mind that when you're doing a solo march, you're hitting somebody's base, you're gonna lose all these troops. And when I say you're losing all these troops, this is like me hitting an equal power player than me. If I were to hit somebody half my size, no, I'm not gonna lose this full march. They're just not gonna be able to do enough damage to me. Their ground isn't gonna be able to do enough damage to me. But if I'm hitting another 900, 800 billion power player, I'm gonna lose probably about 90 to 95% of this march. I'll probably get like 100K back. But just be expected if you hit somebody your size that you're gonna lose a good portion of that. So just bear in mind, use that for food for thought. Is it gospel? Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows. This is just speculation and theory at the end of the day. You can mess around with this 1,000. You know, you could put it to 100. You could put it to 5. You know, you could put it to 600. You could put it really whatever you want. You just want to make sure that you have enough power on the top that it's going to be able to devastate the enemy. You know, as you can see, you know, this is going to be my ground. I don't have it all filled because my general is farming right now, so it's kind of messed up. But, you know, you can see it's the same way for this guy too, right? It's 1,000 all the way down, and then this is my mounted march. And I don't know how this guy... See, I don't know how some of these guys just lose their stuff. If this is mounted, I do like throwing more mounted for that tier. I think it works for me. Those guys beat up that tier pretty good, and you know, it adds a little bit of extra power to your march. It's nothing too crazy, but I like it, so that's what I do. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I'm not saying this is the gospel, and I'm not saying, you know, you better do it this way or the highway. This is what I do, and this is what works for me. Most people know that you need to layer, and I'm just going out and showing people how I layer and kind of my thought process on I mainly wanted to get the information out for the archer marches to make sure you guys do send some of them siege in there, so that way the enemy siege doesn't devastate you guys, because that is a real thing. Siege don't do very well against ground or mounted, but they do extremely well against ranged. Protect your range just that little bit, so that way you can kill the mounted and start moving in on the ground, right? Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for the love and support. Take care. All right, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out with me. You guys have been super awesome. I'm like this has been a dream come true. You guys have been super good to me. I respond to all your guys' comments. You know, I'm trying to make a good community here, and I hope you guys see that. I hope you guys see that I'm trying to develop my community, and appreciate you guys in a live stream. We will see you guys on the next video. Jump on my Discord, links below. I got a page on there if you want to put any information about a certain video, or, you know, you got ideas on certain things, questions, you know, jump in the Discord and ask me. We got some good dudes in there. I got a really good community. You know, I really don't put up with a lot of baloney. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for the love and support. Take care.